Okay, well, welcome everyone. I think we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm Kim McAllister. I'm a program officer at the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences. Just a couple of quick housekeeping items. Just please mute yourself if you're not speaking. And if you haven't already done so, you can put your affiliation as well as your name in Zoom to introduce others. So for this session, we actually just have two projects on research education. So we should have time for a few questions after each presentation, and then maybe we'll hold the rest until the end. Please use the chat during the presentations to ask questions or raise your hand. So with that, I think we can go ahead with the first presentation, which was actually pre-recorded, I believe. Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks. Thanks, Tanian.
Good day, everyone. I am Akintayo Oluwafemi John, representing DATICAN, Data Science and Medical Image Analysis Training in Nigeria. So I'm glad to be the one representing my project to speak on DSI African Virtual Network Exchange. Thank you very much. What is DATICAN? DATICAN is an acronym for Data Science and Medical Image Analysis Training for improved healthcare delivery in Nigeria. We have realized the need for this because there needs to be an improvement in the healthcare delivery in Nigeria, and this project is peculiar to Nigeria. So why DATICAN? It is very unfortunate that there is shortage of manpower in Nigeria when it comes to data science. So as a result of this, we realized that we need to form a training so that we can develop manpower and that people will have the capacity to do data science, to conduct research, which is going to be useful for Nigeria. So also, if there are no medical data scientists, if there are no researchers, this implies that there will be decline in the healthcare delivery. So there is need to improve the healthcare delivery in Nigeria, and that is why we started DATICAN. What is our aim? Our aim is to produce as many as possible data scientists, medical data scientists, researchers who are well equipped to conduct medical research, which will lead towards improving the healthcare delivery in Nigeria. So, who are the partnering institutions? We have two countries participating, which is Nigeria and the United States of America. So in Nigeria, we have Lagos State University in Lagos, Nigeria. We also have the University of Ibadan, Oyo State in Nigeria. We also have the Redeemers University, which is a private school in Nigeria. And we have the University of Chicago, which is in the United States of America. So our training approach to develop the capacity, we have the first one, hybrid lectures. So what do we mean by hybrid lectures? We mean a situation whereby there is online and on-site lectures. So for example, most of the lectures that the trainees have had, it is such that they have been online. And we have had people like Professor Sam Amato from the University of Chicago, Professor Samet from the University of Chicago, Dr. Anna Woodard from the University of Chicago, and many like that. They have been training the trainees on many courses like that, on medical image analysis, as in Python programming and co. So we also have hands-on training, which involves a physical presence. So we have workshops and hackathons in which the students come with their laptops and tasks will be assigned to the students on medical image analysis. So this is going to be a very good opportunity to train people physically, and this has actually worked in great ways. So we also have projects driven in such that all trainees, they are assigned project topics. And after assigning them a project topics, they are assigned supervisors. The supervisor supervises the student and makes sure that the students are on track so that they will be able to deliver the research at the end of the day. So each student are now assigned mentors. So these mentors are elderly people. They are people who are experienced in the field of research. So each student in DETICAN, each scholar in DETICAN has a mentor currently as we speak. Who are the trainees? The trainees are MSc scholars, PhD scholars, postdoctorate scholars, or early career researchers. So we also have the secondary school pupils and also the undergraduates. So I move to the next slide. This slide is telling us that the scholars, they have access to three sets of people, which are the trainers, the supervisors, and the mentors. So each scholar have trainers, which are people who take courses. They have supervisors who are actually in charge of their projects, and they have mentors who actually oversees all what they do. So I think this is very beautiful, and it keeps the scholars on track so that they will not derail. So I'll move to the next slide, which is the trainers. The trainers are from the 4 partnering universities. Don't forget I said the Lagos State University, University of Ibadan, the Redeemers University, and the University of Chicago. So these trainers are responsible for teaching the trainees on the courses. So the courses involve research ethics, medical image analysis, Python programming, and the rest. So the trainers are responsible for taking the course, and the trainers in Nigeria receive training from the trainers in the United States. So that's why we organize the Training to Trainers program at the University of Chicago. And the trainers in Nigeria went to the University of Chicago around April 2024 this year. So they've been there and they've been able to learn about medical image analysis. So the trainers in US and the trainers in Nigeria have had one-on-one sittings, lectures, in which the trainers in Nigeria received lectures from the trainers at the University of Chicago. So the events of DATICAN goes thus. The first one is that we started our lectures in November 2023. So the MSc scholars, PhD scholars, and the junior faculty started training. So this training, we started with functional Python and GitHub versioning. So that was what we started. And as we speak, we've done so many courses, including Python image analysis as a whole, image data exploration, and the rest of them. So after this, we've done 2 hackathon programs. These 2 hackathon programs involve hands-on training in which the students will learn how to read images, how to interpret images, how to process images. So the first one we had at Lagos State in Nigeria, and the second one we had it at Osun State in Nigeria. So the second one, we just concluded it in Nigeria. It actually spanned from 21st to 28th of this July that we have. So the next one is that DATICAN train secondary school students on coding. You know, we have to catch them young. So because we have to catch them when we catch them young, we need to organize a coding program. So at the end of the coding program, we also did a competition for them. We told the children that they should come up with project ideas, and they designed the program. So at the end of the day, we awarded the 3 best projects. We awarded them with 1 million naira. So also, We also did a competition for undergraduate students on AI and data science. These students did a lot of coding and they were screened at various intervals. This undergraduate student competition is such that 25 teams applied for the program. 25 teams. So we did the first phase of competition in which we took the best 5. So it was the best 5 that came to the final competition, which was held at Lagos State University. So it is such that after the first 5, they came and competed physically, and we chose the best 3 out of them. So the winners altogether went home with a sum of 1 million naira. So the challenges we currently have now are in terms of health data repository in Nigeria. We realize that there are no repository in Nigeria. And unfortunately, when we met the hospitals to gather data sets, we realized that the data sets are unstructured. They are unstructured, they are uncurated, and we realize that they are unannotated. So because of this, it becomes very challenging because the time that we are going to spend on pre-processing the data set is going to take a long period of time, and we are currently working on that. So DATCAN is interested in other DSI projects, for example, CAMRA. CAMRA means combating antimicrobial resistance in Africa using data science. And MADIVA. MADIVA means multimodality in Africa, digital innovation, visualization, and application. And also GRASP, growing data science research in Africa to stimulate progress. So it seems we have the same goals, and DATCAN will be very glad to meet this project in terms of collaboration. So in summary, I would say DATCAN is an eye-opener to the skill gap in data science and the situation of healthcare in Nigeria. DATCAN has a great potential to improve health research in Nigeria through capacity building, which we are currently building. And also, we advise that future efforts should focus on training more Nigerians. Future efforts should focus on training more Nigerians, curating health data, building repositories for health, and developing both protocols and pipelines for image acquisition, data sharing, and processing of health data in Nigeria. So you can visit our website so that you can get all the information you need, including my contact, including the pre-ICE contact. So you can get to our website on www.datican.org. Thank you very much.
Okay, do we have questions? Thank you. Yes, go ahead, Isosa.
Thank you very much for that well coordinated presentation. It was simple, it was straight to the point, and I really appreciate that. My question is on the choice of the collaborating institutions. I observed that the 3 institutions where this DATCAN is taking place, training people, is towards a particular region in the country, which is the west of Nigeria. Was there a particular criteria that you employed to select those institutions? One would have expected the institutions are spread along to be able to have people from different regional geopolitical zones in Nigeria to be trained. So do you have a particular criterion that you use to select those institutions? Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, sir, Dr.
Osagi.
Okay, sir, the PI. Okay, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Sosa. This is Professor Benjamin Aribisala, the PI for the project. When the call was released, there are certain criteria on those institutions that have existing collaboration. So we have collaborative efforts with the three other universities. I'm from Lagos State University, and I'm the program director. So we actually included those that we have existing collaboration because the proposal requires demonstration of existing collaboration. But that said, we in Nigeria, we started to see how to extend, because your observation is perfectly correct. And if we are to really, really do a good job, then we need to extend the scope. So we met the Minister of State for Health in April. The team represented by Ibadan, Lagos State University and Chicago, and we presented to him on the need to extend this. And then in addition to preparing to widen the scope and getting more funding from NIH, we are talking to Nigerian government, and that's why we spoke with the minister to see. And we already identified about 15 hospitals across the entire Nigeria that we can include in the next phase of DATICAN, probably getting funding from NIH elsewhere or from Nigeria. Thank you, Esosa.
Thank you very much. Well understood. Thank you, PI.
Flavius?
Okay, actually, the PI has answered my question.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Hope they will not forget my hospital in the next phase of the agenda from Northern Nigeria.
Flavius, drop an email for us, contact us, then we will do justice. We have a list in case we have erroneously excluded I would say erroneously and stress it. In case we have done that, then please, we can do something about it. Thank you very much. Just drop us an email and we'll take it from there.
Okay, thank you so much, PI. Please, we are open to more opportunities. Okay. I'm speaking from University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital and the University of Maiduguri.
Oh, okay. Oh, Maiduguri is already included. The minister actually put Maiduguri on the list.
Oh, that's great. That's
okay.
Brilliant.
All right, we got a bunch more. I think the next one was Ali.
Thank you very much for your presentation. That was a good foundational evaluation of data science in the scope of really encouraging a lot of medical personnel involved. My question goes to the two areas. One, in terms of imaging, medical imaging, especially for cancer diagnosis. What is the level of relationship you have with radiologists as well as data collection? As we know that one major challenge in Africa, especially in Nigeria, is that some of these cases are presented late, which in comparison with most developed countries, you have in terms of the imaging, analysis of the imaging, it's the diversity of analysis varies. That is one. And you also pointed out in your report, one of the findings is that there were a lot of unstructured data collection processes. What action are you doing to see that this improves? My name is Oluwole Akiola. I'm from University of Johannesburg, South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll take that again, Oluwole. That was great. Now, about relationship with radiologists, that actually links directly on Esosa's question. We have established relationship, and since 2013 or thereabout, I've been working with radiologists across the two universities that we included in Nigeria. In particular, our data comes from, the relationship that we have with them to say that. So we can't get data without even signing an MOU with them and without a working relationship. We publish with them, using their data. This is the beauty of multidisciplinarity and cross-planting in terms of research. So we have a very solid relationship. And we use, in particular, we have access to all kinds of images that are used for cancer diagnosis. In particular, we have access to about 10,000 patients' data from mammogram, and we have MRI. So these are the two major. We have ultrasound images. Anyone name them because of the collaboration. We have them. Now about unstructured data, you are really spot on, Oluwole, because if we must make progress, we need to start to get those data structured. So as I speak with you in April, we wrote to NIH to request for supplementary grants, and we are really, really hopeful that we're going to get that money. So to give us the opportunity to hire radiologists and computer scientists, 2 of them, who will sit down and do annotation for us. That's one side. So we need annotation to be done. That's one side. From the computational side, we now need to develop pipelines. In my lab, we have made progress in getting, the pipelines developed. So currently, we have pipeline that will give you all unstructured data stacked into, a folder. Our code will sort them out and put them based on patients, based on, the body parts, and actually based on modality. So we've got everything ready. So hopefully we're going to get further grants to hire people to do annotation, then off we go. Thank you very much, Oluwole.
Okay, then we have Stephen.
I think the last, hello, thank you for the nice presentation. I'm Stephen, at the University of Cape Coast in Ghana. My question was answered partly in your previous answer on the data pipeline that you spoke about. So that was fine. So I'm also wanting to find out, so this data is it for only Nigeria, or is cross countries, or is an African project, or just for Nigeria? I'm asking this because we've been starting a similar project here as well. That's what I want to be sure. I want to know. So of course, I don't have any funding from NIH, but maybe listening to you, it looks like there's possibility to seek such things from NIH as well. But is yours related to Nigeria or is cross Africa?
The target, Stephen, thank you, Stephen. The target is to do African-wide, but medical data, there are loads of things to think about. So you observe that, we're starting even from the southwestern part of Nigeria, and we want to scale up. And once we have a good coverage of Nigeria, our target in the end is to cover Africa. We're talking about DSI Africa anyway. So we want a project that will give us, the full coverage, but that doesn't happen within one, a year or thereabout. So we are very happy to talk to you, Stephen, to see your efforts and to see how we can work together so that we can really get the final goal. So we're making it stepwise, but the destination is to get the African-wide done.
Okay, yeah, because we've been doing a similar project here as well. So maybe also we built a pipeline, so maybe there are things to learn and share as well, and then maybe scale up. I'll be very happy if you are willing to collaborate as well.
Yes, you got the email of the manager. Please drop me a line, and then we can take it from there. This is the beauty. We really enjoy this particular session for us to meet people. So collaboration is the way forward. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Antonia. And Antonia is, I think you're the next one up. And if not, I know
she's actually muted. She seems Antonia is muted, but maybe we go to Modupe.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I know, Modupe, I know you put something in the chat as well.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
yeah, good morning, everybody. Dr. Adebisala has answered some of the questions that I was going to be asking, but also I put some questions in the chat box. but just thought of asking you this, Dr. Adib. So this is a great project, and I'm glad that NIH is funding it. But additional question that I have for you is, are you including the hospitals, teaching hospitals inclusive? Given the data set reservoir that you talk about, and whatever data set you're going to be hacking and using, eventually will come from those clinical settings. So the question is, are they inclusive? And if not, what are the plans of including them? And then, of course, like Kim said, I do have questions on the data chart for you. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Dupe. Definitely the answer is yes. All the data, they come from, the teaching hospitals, from Lagos State Teaching Hospital, from UCH Ibadan. We are talking to OAU, we are talking to Abua Teaching Hospital, and we are extending to Maiduguri. So none of the data came direct, because these are clinical data anyway. And one of the requirements of NIH is that we've got to collaborate with teaching hospital. So the answer is yes.
Yeah, I guess my question is, are you training them? One of the attendants just asked a question about radiologists being inclusive. You did talk about training, which is good, and took us through the steps. Are those staffs, whether they are radiologists or radiology technicians, are they inclusive in your training? Because like you said, for us to get accurate and really relevant data, it has to come from the person doing the documentation. So are they included in the training?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I got it wrong at the first time. Yeah. Now, in the training, our training is actually bi-directional. So we are interested in training computer scientists, interested in medical research, and the vice versa, medics or radiologists in particular, interested in data science. Now, I must confess that most of the trainees are computer scientists doing, are interested in data in health research. We are interested in training radiologists, but we are talking to them, but we have not really got a very good result in terms of, getting them to join the training. But we are open to that. And I will be very happy, if you can recommend any of them, or if there is anything you can advise on getting them to be more involved, because we definitely need to do that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to do a quick time check. So we did have another presentation scheduled, which was from DS Zoo Food, and that was Professor Eric Doncor, but I'm not sure I see him on. Is there someone here to present for that second presentation?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, so I'm Samuel, and I'll be standing in the stead of Professor Eric.
Oh, okay, okay. So maybe we'll go ahead then, if you're ready, and do your presentation to make sure we have enough time for it, and then we can get back to any additional questions for both speakers.
That works, Kim. Thank you so much. Let me take a moment to share the screen and
Yes.
to go.
And please feel free to continue putting questions in the chat as well.
Right. Okay. Hopefully you can see my screen, right?
Yes, that looks good.
Right. Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Samuel. I'm with the University of Ghana Medical School here in Accra, Ghana, and I'm presenting this afternoon on behalf of Professor Eric Sampeni Doncor, who is the principal director of this project. And I'm very happy to share briefly about our project and the progress so far. So we are handling the DS Zoo Food, which is actually the application of data science in building research capacity in zoonosis and foodborne infections across West Africa. And on the slide, you would see our collaborating institutions. We have University of Ghana that hosts this project. And then in Nigeria, we have Obafemi Awolowo University, and then we have Washington University in the US, Tel Aviv University in Israel, and MRC, the Gambia. I would like to draw our attention to this figure here, and this is supposed to highlight the disproportionate burden of infectious diseases across the globe. You would see that, in fact, Africa is highly burdened by infectious diseases, and most of the infectious diseases in Africa are basically foodborne infections and zoonotic infections. And so with this problem, we also have, in addition, a huge deficit in the application of data science and its capacities in solving these health-related issues in Africa. And with this, our project aims to train young scientists from Africa to tackle problems of infectious diseases, harnessing the capacity of data science applications. And our aim is to really enhance research in zoonosis and foodborne infections in West Africa through the application of data science. So our training rolling will be rolling with two strategies. The first strategy is the training strategy, and the second is the retention strategy. So with the training strategy, we have training in the areas of bioinformatics, training in the areas of modeling, training in the areas of application of data science tools in solving foodborne diseases and zoonotic infection problems in West Africa. And with the retention strategy, this is one novel strategy that we adopted because we realized that there was a big problem with scientific research in Africa, where you would spend a lot of time training researchers and scientists, and then you end up losing all of them to other places. But we have adopted this retention strategy so that we can get majority of our trainees to sort of start and conduct research in West Africa, stay here so that they can actually help with research in West Africa. So our training program will have a retention strategy that would focus on trying to get some seed grants for people who are trained on this project. And that also will have to see if we can get some job placements for them when they are done. And then we have the post-training monitoring, which will aim at monitoring people's progress in their research career or in their research life. And so moving forward, we have our training program. The aims will be to provide a one-year research training to master's students across West Africa. And with this master's program, we would facilitate research projects on topics that apply bioinformatics, phylogeodynamics, and disease modeling in zoonosis and foodborne infections. We also want to provide a one-year research training to faculty members from West Africa. And this will focus on training early career scientists and faculty members from universities across West Africa and research institutions in the application of bioinformatics and disease modeling tools. And thirdly, we want to provide short courses and workshops, which will be aimed at hands-on training for our trainees in bioinformatic tools and then disease modeling to a wider community in West Africa. Again, this would be institutions in West Africa that are mainly the training centers. So with the implementation, we have the short courses and the workshops. First workshop was held recently, which was May 6th to May 10th in the University of Ghana. And this was focused on genomics and bioinformatics, where we had resource person from the Sanger Institute to take our trainees through a 1-week intensive bioinformatics workshop. And there were 30 participants in all, ranging from master's students, PhD students, postdoc fellows, and faculty members. And participants were were pulled from across West Africa, namely Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Benin, Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Liberia. So this is just a photo gallery of the training program, the workshop that happened recently in a few months back. Okay, for our next implementation, we are looking at master's training. And we have recruited 5 students so far who have been awarded fellowships. And we have 3 postdoctoral fellows who have also been recruited and have been awarded. So with the awards, we have these projects ongoing. For the master's programs, we have from Ghana topics such as genetic insights into Enterococcal species isolated from food sources in Ghana, and modeling the burden of zoonotic infections in Ghana, whole genome sequencing in Staphylococcus aureus, isolated from food sources in Ghana. We also have some projects from Guinea, which is the molecular epidemiology of rotavirus in Guinea. For our postdoc fellows, there are 3 of them currently who are working on comparative genomics or genetics in Salmonella, Shigella, and Escherichia coli isolates from Burkina Faso. We have in Nigeria genomic studies on multi-drug resistant Enterobacterialis colonizing animals. And in Ghana, we have modeling economic aspects of zoonotic diseases in West Africa. So currently we have put in a call for our second cohort of postdoctoral applications, and this is what the call looks like. And we are hopeful that we'll get quite a number of people across West Africa to apply so that we enroll them in our program. So this will be a brief presentation to how far we've gone with the project. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. That was great. Okay, what questions do we have? Oh, Benjamin, did you have a question?
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you. That was a great one. I was going to ask about the postdocs. You know, how long do they have to stay? Do they need to be physically present in Ghana? And then do you pay them something? And what's the duration? Kind of 3-in-1s, you know, do they have to physically come to Ghana? And then, you know, how long? And do you pay them some stipend? Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, Prof. Aribi Salah. Yes, we do have, currently our 3 postdocs are here in Ghana, and we have stipends for them, and it's a duration of 1 year, which can be extended to 2 years for their training and research. But to answer your question straightforward, yes, they are here in Ghana, and we give them stipends, monthly stipends, and we cater for their traveling expense, right? That's all captured under the funds provided by the NIH. Yes. Right.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we might be contacting you to do some recommendation of those who might be interested from Nigeria. Yes, from
absolutely, absolutely. Yes. We'll be glad to have you. Okay. Right. We would encourage that you apply using the call, right?
Oh, yes, yes, that would be great. If you can just send anything to us that can point us to the call, that would be fab.
I'll do that, absolutely, right.
Thank you.
All right, do we have any other questions? I had one, Samuel, you mentioned the sort of briefly some of the retention strategies and ideas, and I was just wondering, I guess it's too early to see how those are working, and I didn't know if you did some of that, if you kind of talked to other folks for other programs when you were thinking about those retention strategies of what's worked for other people.
Oh, yes. So with the retention strategy, like you rightly mentioned, it's quite early in the training to be able to assess how well we've done with this. Yes, so we consulted a few training programs, or I mean old DSI programs. And even though they don't have specific retention strategies, we came out with this. So this is quite novel, and this is what we are testing. And issues coming up will be getting funds to provide seed grants for trainees and job placements, you know. And so we are trying to look at ways in which we would secure funds to give. We are thinking about things like startup project funds, okay? So trainees who are really successful and do a very good job in their research or training programs will probably get some seed grants to start their own research in their respective homes in West Africa. Okay, so we are hopeful that this will work, but we really don't have a done template on which we are replicating. This is quite novel.
Yeah, that'll be great. It'll be great to see what happens. Modupe had a question in the chat. Whether the training's on a rolling basis.
Sorry, if I could get that question again.
It was in the chat about whether the training is on a rolling basis.
Right. So for the master's programs, they are mandated to enroll in the University of Ghana with the medical school in the Department of Medical Microbiology for their award of degree, because they have to satisfy some requirements. Yeah. And for the postdocs, it's actually on contractual basis. So once they are put on the training program, they just have we don't offer PhD training, so we offer only postdocs, which is on contractual basis. For the masters, yes, they are enrolled in the university, all master's programs. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, okay. Anything else? Any other questions that people have?
I was going to make a quick comment, Kim, if that's okay by you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's about, Samuel's work is, I think we have some commonalities, and I will be happy for us to chat even more because you train MSc students, we do, and we train for, the only difference could be maybe our focus, and then the fact that we train PhD students. But it will be good to just compare notes to see, because, Kim posted a question about actually the career path and issues about those interested in data science. So we struggle a little bit to get people, and then we might want to see, just learn from your success story. So yes, okay, thank you for sending your email. So we'll be in touch with you and see what we can learn. But it seems as if your focus, the people you are training, are they largely people from biological science?
Yes. So you would realize that the trend would be people who have some background in biological sciences, specifically microbiology, because we are looking at foodborne infections and zoonosis. And usually these people will have the background in basic microbiology and infectious diseases. But we also have a few who are into the space of data science and mathematical modeling. Yes.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thank you.
Right, you're welcome.
All right, any other questions? Flavius.
Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. Just a quick question. Will you also accommodate those from outside microbiology or biological sciences who have interest in foodborne diseases and zoonosis? Looking at it through One Health. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I mentioned earlier, we have we have some trainees who are in the field of mathematical modeling, data science, disease modeling. And so we'll be interested to bring on board people who have other backgrounds, but will be able to apply data science in solving zoonosis and foodborne infections. Right.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else that anybody has any comments for either presentation?
Okay, sorry, can I add something a little?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just a rider to the question I asked. Looking at data science, and DSI Africa is doing a lot in Africa, and I'm happy with the momentum is gathering. And we need really to collaborate more. I'm not a data scientist. I know little or not much about this, but in the last few years, I was opportune to collaborate with a computer scientist. And that has taught me a lot. I'm a radiographer by training. And in our little collaboration, I've been able to learn a lot about image segmentation, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all that. So, and how will this help? Just like the previous PI, Professor Benjamin talked about, if we are looking for a data that is AI ready, I am better informed in that area. So if we are talking about training, capacity building, we have to look at how we can bring everyone on board to make the Africa of our dream a reality. Thank you very much. It's been such an insightful session.
All right. Yeah, I think this was both presenters were amazing. I think hopefully this really helped with kind of brainstorming and thinking across some of the different projects of what could be done. If there's nothing else, we can just end a few minutes early. I just want to thank both speakers and everyone else as well for participating and all the great questions we had. There's not a whole lot of time, but you can certainly join one of the other rooms for the last few minutes of another session if you want as well. And with that, thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks, Kim. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.